How you doing, YouTube? This is Will from Will Development. Today I just want to do a quick video about my reaction and my thoughts on the Strength Camp Challenge, which I just competed in last weekend. Let me just say first and foremost, I had a good time. I've not been to any contests that I was involved in, but I can speak from experience of watching last year that this year they were much more organized. Still not quite as efficient as I think they could have been, or even should have been. So hopefully next year they'll do even better, which if this is an example of improvement, I'm sure they will do just that next year, and I look forward to it, and I look forward to being a little less pathetic next year. I ended up 26th last time I checked, which was before the last competition, the last event. I was 26th out of 30 in the novice division. Still coming to terms with that a little bit. I left everything out on the floor for each event, except for maybe the high jump and that last medley. The high jump, I went way too conservative and kind of shot myself down mentally before I walked into it, just because part of me still has some PTSD from the fall I took on the box jumps a few weeks ago, about a month ago now. And the medley, I got psyched out a little bit and then ended up psyching myself out because they switched out the farmer's handles with a keg carry at the last second just before we went up. I've never handled a keg before. I didn't know what weight this keg was, and it threw me off a little bit. I ended up carrying it at the waist, which was a mistake because that ended up fucking up my stomach, because then I picked up the barrel, and by the time I put the barrel down and walked back, I couldn't even jog back to the barbell. I felt like I was going to throw up. Cranked out one rep of the 135 and tried for about 40 seconds to just get that second, and it just couldn't happen at the time. I should have put it down, waited, and maybe got a couple more, but I ended up slamming down, saying fuck, and walking away trying not to cry because I was so angry that I couldn't handle it. Like a little bitch, I walked away. So that one I still have a bit of regret on. I'm not gonna lie, but I did go out there and I did show up at least. So, I mean, for what it's worth, I did do that. I've learned that I definitely need to work on some things, specifically static strength wise, all that good stuff. Conditioning wasn't really that big of an issue for me, but I now know how to, I know how to better prepare myself for a long day of competition. It was about 9 hours on and off, about every hour and a half, doing something. So I was lucky enough to run into a very, very nice guy while I was waiting outside for them to start opening ceremonies, things of that nature. He's about my height, maybe an inch shorter, if that. Weighs 230, just a fucking beast of a guy. And he really helped me out, kept me calm. Knowing somebody like him still had nerves the day of, made me feel a lot better. And he consoled me a lot when I was down, just from not being as good as the other people there. You know, man, it's your first competition. Don't be so hard on yourself. Come back next time and wreck it. He was right. He said, I think you're going to get that strongman bug and want to compete more. And he was absolutely correct. I now do have that bug and want to compete again. But there was a promise I made myself when I ended up failing the deadlift at 335 and then watched somebody who weighed 20 pounds less than me pull 405 pretty easily. And the promise I made was that I would never be outclassed like that ever again. Which means next time I do a competition, I need to be better prepared. I have some things coming up between November, December, January, and February that are going to hinder my strongman training. I don't want to talk about them right now, but coming up in February, I've got a thing coming up that I'm working towards. Obviously, I have my cosplay for Riddick, which I am going to be doing at MegaCon next year, which I believe is in March. I gotta buy tickets and figure out a hotel and shit for that. But regardless, I need to get bigger, and I want to get bigger, but I want to try to get stronger at the same time, which they're very, they go together well, getting strong and getting big at the same time. So I'm going to be eating a lot more. Not a lot more, but quite a bit more. Still going to be clean eating. I'm just going to up my protein and carb intake on 2 meals, basically, throughout the day. And pack on some more size, because I want to get some more size on there. I want to get up to about 180 by the time I do Riddick. And I think that'll be a good size for me. The only thing I can really say for 100% certainty is that if you are thinking about doing a competition, unless the weights are absolutely outside of what you can grasp tomorrow, go for it. Just go for it. The only regrets I have are the fact that I didn't leave it all out there. The fact I walked away from one of them is still bothering me to this day, and I will never let that happen again. I will run out the clock before I quit next time. So if you're thinking about doing a competition, I suggest signing up for it. If it's 3 months away and you feel like you can get ready enough for it, go do it. It gives you something to work towards. It was a lot of fun. It was great meeting all those different people that were all interested in fitness. And, you know, I met 4 people there that had all seen Generation Iron, you know, a bodybuilding movie. I walk outside, I can't find 7 people. Out of 50, I can't find 2 that have watched it. I can't even find 1. It's usually just me. So it was great to meet so many people that were interested in fitness, and it was great meeting my new friend Nate, who I'm going to start training with every once in a while. He lives out in Jacksonville, so we're ways away, but it was really good. So just go for it. But don't quit. Don't get discouraged. And remember, if it is your first competition, it's just your first competition. You shouldn't expect to win it, but don't walk in ready to lose either. So get strong, be strong, and go for it. If you don't go for it, then what's your excuse?